Guys, deluded Guna, Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1, and we somehow managed to do that. Means nothing, means absolutely nothing. Of course, I'm happy we won it, got our 13th title, Wenger's 7th, but it means nothing but 24 hours of excitement, 24 hours of happiness. So let's just get into it. Going into the game, we knew what was at stake. We know Chelsea have the chance of doing the double. We know we have the chance of adding some sort of positive on the season we've had. We knew what was at stake. So going into the game, clearly, let's be honest, there was clearly, obviously both teams want to win, but clearly there was more an emphasis on us winning. We needed to win more. I mean, if Chelsea lost, it's not the end of the day. They've won in the league. If we lose, we're gonna go over the same old stuff again and again. So yeah, and that was seen in the players' performances. Typically, we know sometimes we don't start off well. I'm assuming one hell of a speech was given last night before these guys went to bed, because everyone was inspired. All the back three/5, however you want to look at it, were there. Welbeck was inspired, and as particularly the opening 10 minutes, you saw it. We were first to everything. We were aggressive out of possession. We were aggressive in regards to the backline. We nullified Courtois playing out of the back. You saw him play a couple strays and get pressed in under possession. You saw. I was most impressed about how we set up out off the ball. We had 11 men behind the ball. Everyone was aware of their positions. Everyone was aware of their areas they were supposed to be in, and everybody else's job. And it's just a shame we decided to just do this for 6 times in a season as opposed to 38 or whatever consistently. Like I said, we were aggressive out of possession. Everyone looked inspired. Everyone fought. Ramsey and Oxlade, workman-like performance today. Didn't typically we give away the ball cheaply and we don't appreciate it. Everybody, if they lost it, they were quickly trying to rectify their mistake. They were playing like it's their last day playing football. And like I said, it's a shame we're not in the top 4. It's a shame our season's been a joke. But for that context alone, it was happy days. Obviously, in the 4th minute, there was a bit of controversy as to our goal. Personally, I didn't see it. Normally, we're on the receiving end of these sort of decisions, so I'm happy it happened. It happened for us for once. Obviously, it's the FA Cup final. From a Chelsea fan, I'm going livid. Ramsey is he is obstructing play, but he's not directly going to it, in my opinion. Yes, he does appear to go to it. The big thing for me was Courtois isn't really. In the heat of it, I said Ramsey weren't involved, but on reflection and watching the replays, Courtois probably doesn't appeal enough. If he appeals a bit more, that goal is chalked off, because there was a lot of indecision. But either way, I'm going to take that. Like I said, Alexis gets another goal, makes it around 30 now, 15 assists. Great season, and it's the final, like I said. And what impressed me more when we went 1-0 up, we looked like we wanted it more and more, and we should have. If it wasn't for Cahill, we would have had a lot more. Cahill in the 15th and the 27th minute, excellent blocks off the goal line. One was denied, a great little chip from Ozil, and yeah, we looked inspired. Welbeck deserved the goal today. Like I keep saying, it's a shame he can't finish. That's the only thing he done wrong. He just couldn't get a goal. Stretched their defense well. Pressed them, hurried them, helped us out of possession. It was a real good performance. Already praised Ramsey, Ozil and Alexis. We know when they're up for it, it's something else. We know Ozil's a pass master, like I keep saying. But he was really up for the fight today. He's had a lot of question marks this season. Mertesacker, 14th minute, on top of a lot, but the 14th minute in particular, great block to deny Costa. He had a couple of that. We know Mertesacker himself didn't expect to play. We know we didn't really were filled with confidence, but credit to the man. And along with Ramsey and to a degree Xhaka, he's definitely man of the match. He had a great game in the first half especially. And yeah, I do believe that we, in the first half, we nullified Chelsea's midfield. I mean, Kante and Matic are not the most adventurous in possession, so we were able to pick it off them and whatnot, and they weren't really showing for it. They weren't really relieving any pressure from their defence. I really thought Conte was going to bring Cess on in the first half purely for that reason. If I have one criticism of us, we weren't ruthless. This is why we don't win cups, and we won a cup. It's ironic, but we don't win major Champions Leagues and stuff because we're not ruthless. Chelsea could have been put to bed. We could have finished off the game. And when you consider Chelsea had a few incidences in the first half, particularly the last 5 minutes, they started to come into it. We started to creep into old habits and things like that. We really could have went into half time at 1-1. But there's not much more I could say. Going into half time, Chelsea are sleeping. They're their own worst enemies. They simply didn't start off well. If I'm really honest, I do think them Chelsea players thought they could just turn up and it would happen for them. And I mean, anyone would. They won the league. You feel somewhat invincible. And they did pay for it. I've already talked about Kante and Matic. I feel the wing backs were not good enough. Alonso, it was too easy to go past him. Moses, fair enough, was offering something in the final third for them, but his red card sums up the game. Two stupid decisions. Costa's isolated. Costa was frustrated from the moment the goal went on. Hazard was getting a lot of space, but he wasn't being picked out. And to be honest, he was quite quiet. Other than that, yeah, I'd be pretty angry if I was a Chelsea fan. It's a cup final, chance to do the double, and because players think they're better than they are, and quite frankly cheated themselves out of a double, I'd be absolutely angry. On our front, I was livid. I mean, we could have killed the game. It's still 1-0. 1-0 leads are notoriously hard to keep in football, even more if you're an Arsenal fan. So yeah, I do think that there was an emphasis on getting the second and killing it. And Chelsea started off the second half, in my opinion, better than us. I think I'm pretty sure Victor Moses had an effort. Kante had an effort. Ospina had to deny both of them, and they really looked like they were going to get back into it. And eventually they did. Costa got his goal. Ospina, apart from a good couple of saves, was poor today, in my opinion. Too easy. Costa doesn't hit it too well, and Costa, to be honest, was plugging away, and he somewhat deserves a goal, but it's a cheap goal to concede, and it's a cheap goal for the rest of the boys, in my opinion. But 1-1. And weirdly, it was a weird game. I do think we got the rub of the green a lot, and it was a weird game. And instantly we replied. Normally, it's an Arsenal team that score first, and another team equalise or whatnot. But we did. Kante again didn't have the best of games. Not tracking Ramsey. Ramsey, we know he was making a lot of runs, particularly in the second half. I did think it was time to take him off because he was vacating space. But clearly, Wenger proved why he's a football manager, and I'm here talking about YouTube stuff and football stuff. And giving an opinion. But yeah, Ramsey not picked up, manages to slot in. Giroud instantly came on, instantly made an impact. It hasn't been the easiest of seasons, and he seems to love a cup final at Wembley, whether it's assisting or scoring. He deserves it. Instantly replied, and it's 2-1. Again, even at 2-1, we had to get a chance to kill off the game. Ozil could have scored a few. Alexis could have scored a few. Alexis hit the post, I believe. There was a couple other efforts, and another game in some other context, we might not be so lucky. You did get the feeling it was going to be our day. There was a lot of chances that on another day, Chelsea, Costa, and all of them guys, they score, and Chelsea are 4-5 up on another day. But we were to be the better side, and yeah, we managed to get over the line, and can't complain anymore about that. 2-1. Like I said at the beginning, it means basically nothing. You could tell even from the manager to us, it was a bit muted celebrations, but nonetheless, it's the FA Cup. It could have gone worse. 2-1, we get record FA Cup victories, and yeah, we can celebrate for 24 hours and we can reflect on this hard season. Guys, like I said, as always, thank you for your support and thank you for viewing my videos throughout the whole season. And yeah, next season, back at it. To do good, I'm out. 2-1.